Good morning, beautiful people. I hope you're doing great. Hey, my name is Britton Johnson. I'm the founding partner of Voluntary Insurance Partners, and we are a worksite brokerage. That means we work with employers, and we help small businesses, employers who really love their employees. Employers that care about them. They think of them as family. They want to do something for their folks when it comes to benefits, but understanding that a budget, logistics, and challenges come into play. Hey, we're your peeps, all right? Reach out to us. My website's down below. Contact us, and we will hook you up with one of our partners that will physically come to you, meet with you, and try to build a long-term, long-standing relationship with you, not just to sell you insurance and stuff like that, but to be there for your business and your people for the long haul. It's worth it, okay? I promise you it's worth it. Hook us up. All right, real quick, let's get the logistics out of the way. Subscribe, share, comment, thumbs up, like this video, man. Thank you so much for doing that. This really helps get the message out and just the lessons that I teach. You are walking and talking with Britt, all right? I get my 10,000 steps in, and the way that I get my 10,000 steps in, I don't have a whole lot of time. I'm a pretty busy guy. I'm all over the place. And this is the one time that I can stop, reflect, and just right off the cuff, come up with lessons in our industry, sales lessons, things that might benefit you. So if this benefits you, thank you for watching this, and thank you for subscribing. All right, let's get into today's subject. I was thinking about what should I talk about today, and I want to talk about influence. Influence and power. So power and influence it's an interchangeable term. And in our career, and if you're in sales at all, actually, if you're in anything at all, you need the ability, oh, great rooster. You need the ability to influence others, okay? Our job is to influence employers, to provide good quality benefits that are extremely affordable, that make a lot of sense, that protect the things that matter the most, okay? Like keeping the roof over your head and the lights on, food on the table, those sorts of things. It's also our job to influence employees to enroll in plans that are suitable and right for them, to protect their families if something were to happen, you know, via sickness or injury or anything of that nature. It's also, as leaders in our organization, it's our job to influence others to build a career doing this as well, which is pretty amazing. It's an amazing career. If you're interested in a career, look us up as well. Here to hook you up. All right. So let's talk about influence and power. All right. Power is the ability to influence. All right. So when I say sources of power, that is an old sociology term. In fact, American sociologists, I believe their names were John French and Bertram Raven. They came up a long time ago with what's called the 5 sources of power. So let's talk about those 5 sources and what they mean. So, and this is in no particular order. Again, this is unscripted. I'm just walking and talking. So the first source of power is what's called referent power. Okay, referent power means that you have the ability to influence, or people will follow you simply because they like you. They think you're a good person, right? So they look at you and they go, man, you know what? I really like Jill. You know, Jill is a fantastic person. I like Jill, and I'm gonna do business with Jill, right? That is a fantastic way to influence others, okay? And by being a good person, being someone that's caring. Have you ever done something for someone because you knew that you were helping them out, doing them good, right? They influence you, okay? They used a source of power. Another one is called exact power. Some people call it legitimate power. It's kind of the same thing. And that is, people will follow you or you can influence those because of a title, a position. Now, you don't, unlike referent power, you don't necessarily have to like that person, right? Let me give you an example. If you're driving down the road and you look in your rearview mirror and there's blue lights on, you're gonna pull over. Now, you might not be exactly very fond of that police officer that's pulling you over at the time, but because they have that legitimate or exact power, you're going to pull over and follow their instructions, right? that's a form of exact power. And another thing is people will, you know, I'll give you another example. My wife is a retired colonel in the U.S. Air Force. And back in the day when she was a squadron commander, if she said that we were going to do physical training at 0600 hours in the parade field, and you were a new troop, and your sergeant says, hey, commander says we're going to do this, you're going to comply to that, right? You might not know my wife, you may not have ever met her. You would have liked her, I promise. She's a sweetheart, but but you would show up at the parade field to do physical training with your unit at 0600, I guarantee it. All right. The third source of power, and the next two I'm going to talk about are almost yin and yang, is reward power. That's the ability to influence, to promote, or it's the ability to influence others to take action because of the opportunity for reward or promotion. I'll give you a really good example. One of my carriers, a lot of our carriers, they like to do trips and contests, right? So if you hit a certain production level, you can go on an amazing trip. And in fact, I've got an amazing trip I'm gonna go on here pretty soon to Barcelona, Spain. Man, I can't wait. It's gonna be great. I worked hard to qualify for that, right? And that trip, the enticement of that reward got me in gear to get up and go work hard. And I can't wait to go to the Arches in Barcelona. That's Ritz-Carlton's nicest property, by the way. So that's one example. I do the same thing within our team. I bring in a lot of really cool trips. In fact, in next February, I'm taking a whole lot of my team members. We're going to the Pacific side of Mexico, and we're gonna ride camels on the beach. So that's a reward, right? So if they hit certain numbers and certain qualifications, I'm going to reward them for their efforts. The opposite of that is what's called coercive power. Now, people hear coercive, that sounds very negative. Well, I'll be honest, it is negative. It's not a source of influence that we like to use, but it can be used. Now, how can this be used in basic terms? You say, Britt, I'm a new agent, or I'm a new partner at VIP. How would I have coercive power? Well, let me give you an example. Let's say that you have an enrollment coming up, and not all of the employees are doing what they're supposed to do and completing their enrollment or waiver form, okay? We don't force people into policies, but we do want to make sure that we protect the employer. So we ask that all of the employees either enroll or waive their benefits for the year. Now, if they do not get their enrollment done within the enrollment period that's selected by the employer, then their policies, their underwriting changes. They go from what's called a guaranteed issue, where there's no health questions at all, to what's called a simplified issue, where they've got to sit down and answer a bunch of health questions, height, weight, and all that jazz. And if you've ever had health issues, you definitely want to make sure that you get that done in time. Well, even if you don't have health issues, you want to make sure you get it done in time, but because you don't want to upset your employer and mess up their payroll, all right? But that's an example of coercive power. If you don't get this done, then you got to answer the questions, right? So that's just one example of coercive power. People don't think of it that way, but that's what it is. And then last, but definitely not least, is what's called expert power. Expert power is one of my favorite ones to use because people will follow you, they'll listen to you because you know what the heck you're doing, all right? And you put it on display. That's the trick. There's a lot of people that have expert power, but they're too afraid to show and share what they know, right? I don't know if people keep it to themselves because they feel like their knowledge is protected and guarded and something sacred. You know, that's kind of a scarcity mindset. We have a mindset of abundance here at VIP, and we want to share our expertise and our knowledge with every employer, every employee at businesses, every potential partner within VIP, every potential broker partner, affiliate, whatever that may look like. We want to make sure that we're sharing knowledge, right? We're sharing our expertise with you. This is why you'll see videos talking about things that you'll never find really online when it comes to like commissions. That, you know, we're going to lay it all out there and tell you what all the terms are, what all the things are, and hopefully these videos are putting some expert power on display and helping you. That's the goal, right? Is really to help you out in your walk, in your business, whether you be selling, you know, benefits or insurance, or whether you sell widgets. It doesn't matter. So 5 sources of power: referent, exact or legitimate, coercive, reward, and expert. Now, believe it or not, you have all 5 of these within you. So I want you to do a little exercise for yourself. This will just take a minute. Write down all 5 of these: reward, coercive, referent, exact, and expert. Write them down. Believe it or not, you have all 5 of those within you. Write down what percentage you have within yourself. Okay, the percentages need to total up to 100, right? So if you've been in this industry for 20 years, you probably have a high level of expert power, a pretty high level of referent power, because you're in this business because you care about people, and maybe a little less coercive, maybe a little bit of reward, right? So it should match 100%. Measure that out, see where you're at, and then see where the areas are that you wish to improve. I will tell you this: expert power is the longest lasting. People will stay with you and stay influenced by your organization and your team if you put good expert power on display. You know, referent power is super important as well. Unfortunately, with human nature, referent power doesn't last as long, but it's extremely important as well. All right, so you want to be higher in those 2, in my personal opinion. Now, that being said, I think it's a great exercise. Do it for yourself. I believe it's worth it, and show your power. Hopefully you have an amazing day. God bless you all, and make it a great one. Oh, subscribe, thumbs up, share, comment. Help the algorithm, help it out. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. See ya. Bye.